What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Happy day today, hump day. We're almost through the week and CPI numbers came out. So we're going to take a look at CPI, the numbers that came out, the information that came out, the effects that it had on the markets and the effects that it could have on the market regarding really when the bull run is going to be, because there are a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of connections that we can make right here, and I'm going to focus this video on that. We're going to take a look at gold, DXY, 2-year, 10-year yield, the other markets, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, all the stuff that we normally look at when I'm looking at the broader markets to try to get an idea of what's going on and what to expect for Bitcoin, and by extension the rest of the crypto markets. And if we have time, we'll take a look at my watch list to see what type of opportunities are out there, because my portfolio keeps dropping. Although I'm way up, my portfolio keeps dropping. Today it dropped some more, which is fine. That means opportunity. That doesn't scare me. That makes me wish that I had more capital to put in, because it would be a great time to buy, to start putting capital. And so without further ado, let's do this. Okay, really quickly, Bitcoin in this triangle. Okay, I thought maybe we'd be just above this, but I mean, CPI came out and it dropped. It dropped actually down here as low as 67,602, and now we are kind of moving back up above this trend line, as you can see. Do we keep it? This is not out of the ordinary. As you can see, we've done days like this before here and here, just below this trend line, but we always come back in it, and we're staying in this triangle. Hopefully we'll put a body back up above this area of, which is now resistance, but this area of 69,179. all right. Could we go lower? Yes, of course we can, but again, the Bitcoin halving is right here, guys. Bitcoin halving is right here, and I just don't know. I mean, there's got to be some type of strong catalyst to drive us down, and well, maybe that catalyst could be the CPI. Let's take a look at that. All right. CPI for March rose 0.04% versus expectations. It came in hotter than expected. The expectations were 0.03%, and February's 0.04% on a year-over-year basis. CPI was up 3.5% versus 3.4% expected and 3.2% in February. The core CPI, which excludes food and energy costs, rose 0.04% in March versus 0.03% anticipated and 0.04% the previous month. The year-over-year core CPI was up 3.8% versus 3.7% expected and 3.8% in February. The price of Bitcoin fell more than 1% to 68,200 in the minutes following the report. As you can see, we've come back from that. We're at 68,635. Let's see, but we're still under 70,000. Where are we here? Traditional markets aren't taking the numbers well either, with S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures both tumbling around 1.5%. The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield has shot up. We're going to take a look at all that. Shot higher by 13 basis points to 4.5, and the dollar index has risen a sizable 0.05%. Gold, which has been carving out new record highs on nearly a daily basis of late, is down 0.05% to 2,003. We're going to take a look at gold as well. Markets came into the year having priced in about 5 to 6 Federal Reserve cuts in 2024, but inflation, which fell steadily through much of 2022 and 2023, hasn't cooperated. It's actually risen a bit through the first quarter and remains well above the U.S. Central Bank's 2% target. A series of Fed members have made clear they're not inclined to begin easing monetary policy until seeing a sustained path, i.e. more than just 1 month report or inflation trending downward. Traders, meanwhile, have quickly whittled away their expectations of rate cuts, and prior to this morning's report had priced in just 2 or 3 for the full year, according to the CME FedWatch tool, with the first move coming in June or July. I thought maybe July. I was in the camp of July, but now I'm not so sure. Following the new inflation data, the tool now shows September as the most likely time for initial rate cuts. So maybe we just see one or two, but that's interesting, right? So what does that do essentially for Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is staying strong, okay? For many reasons. Hey, there's a lot of ETFs coming from all over the world, by the way, if you don't know, okay, that are going to come in. So there's going to be a lot more demand. So I'm not too worried about Bitcoin having like this huge dip, unless there's like a global something, unless there's like a black swan. All right. And so for the most part, I think we're not really going to venture too much out of this area. Again, you never know. But like I said, if we do wick and we go down, it's going to be short and shallow. Okay. That's how I see it. Now, what effects could this have as far as the future. Okay, well, to me, maybe could possibly be that we're just gonna slow and steady grind up here into the halving, right? Maybe right around here in the 70s, or maybe a little higher. You never know, because people are gonna position themselves before, and then after that, maybe we just after the halving event, maybe we just kind of stay dull for a little bit, a few months, right? Maybe a few months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. What would be 120 days? 120 days would be somewhere around August 2024. All right, August. What's 140 days? 140 days, which is like 4, 8, 12, 16, 160 days, let's say. 4 months, let's say. 4 months. September, 25th of September, more or less. Okay, so what could we do around here? It could be that during this time, right, these months, that we just kind of slowly maybe grind up, maybe dip a little bit, slowly grind up, and then at some point after is when the big parabola, the big run up starts happening. Okay, maybe we're not going to see something right here. Like some expect to see something right here, and that's because again these rate cuts are going to come in later, or they might not even come at all this year. And if that is the case, then that's going to push back the big parabolic run. I'm sure it's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen, but maybe it does happen, you know, later in the year, later in 2025, maybe the beginnings or middle of 2025. I don't know about the middle, or maybe the end of 2025, as the rate cuts have taken their effect, because it does take a little bit of time for the rate cuts to take their effect, and then more money will be in the whole worldwide system. And at that point, with that more money sloshing around, with credit, with money easier, cheaper to borrow, that money will find its way into the crypto markets. Believe that, especially when the ETFs and all that stuff, and who knows, even sovereign nations buying into Bitcoin, and eventually retail coming back in, as there's not too much retail fascination with Bitcoin at the moment. It's just institutions and quote unquote smart money in there. So I mean, I could see something that it could be boring for the next few months. Although I would still say that we would be grinding up, and we'd probably be above these levels of 68,000 in these next few months after that. Okay, maybe into the 80s, maybe into the 90s, you know, and then we just kind of hang out for a little while, and then boom, blow off top sometime in 2025. All right, that's how I see it. Let's take a look at the overall markets. Dow Jones, the dollar, DXY. After it looked right like it was coming down here and kind of breaking, testing this descending line and coming back down. Look at this big huge wick right here. This big huge green candle back up, boom. So interesting. Higher high, higher high, higher high. Maybe it still has a little bit ways more to go, but look at this. We still have some resistance area right here. Let's see, do we kind of touch up here, see what happens? Again, this is bad for the markets. All right, so another reason why I think maybe we could be going sideways. I don't see us dropping too much. Gold, right? And remember, Bitcoin is digital gold for a long time. This is like all-time high, guys. If you don't follow gold, and I don't, but I had printed this because I had done some chart analysis on it because, well, I think it's important. This is the highest it's been. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, triple top, and then quadruple top, fake, going down, right? Even on this one, which was in 2023 May, we dropped, came back, boom, 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 and then wow, first time ever that this has happened. This is crazy. That's amazing. So what does it say? Well, to me, if Bitcoin is digital gold, then I would think maybe Bitcoin would experience something. Should people should things start going south a little bit, I think people would go into safe havens like gold, and by extent, I don't know by extension, but Bitcoin, if the whole narrative of Bitcoin being digital gold is to be believed by the public, by society, then I think Bitcoin would hold up okay. And that's another reason. This is another reason why I don't see us dropping down too much. All right. So that's the weekly. Okay, so let's go to the daily. All right. That's why I have a tough time believing that we're going to get out of this area before this Bitcoin halving. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So we looked at gold, Dow Jones. That's interesting. Look at this little drop right here, kind of bearish. NASDAQ, not as bearish. Not as bearish. This looks more like sideways. Dow Jones looks like it's going down, right? It doesn't look even sideways here. It looks like it's dropping down, but who knows? Maybe we find support and kind of go sideways. NASDAQ looks more than anything just sideways, lateral. S&P doesn't look like it turned, but it looks like it might be. Hopefully, you know, the rest of this week we kind of just stay right around here and go sideways. Here's something interesting. 2-year bond yield. We don't want to see this. We don't want to see that. And the 10-year. We also do not want to see that 10-year bond yield. Okay, so that looks strongish. That looks strong, and which is bad for Bitcoin, the rest of the markets. All right, so that's something. But I mean, that's today. Let's see what happens. Let's see how the dust settles and what happens. Okay, so that we looked at all that. Then I give you my idea of more or less what I think could possibly happen because of the CPI and the hotter print. Let's take a look at opportunities. Let's take a look at my watch list. I'm always watching. Kind of sounds scary, but I am. All right, so I just clicked on 24-hour coin market cap. 24-hour. What looks good? 24-hour. Let's take a look at what looks good. Curio Governance, CGT. I don't own any yet. I'm still watching it. UBXS looks strong. OTC. Interesting project. They're like over the counter facilities for everybody, not just huge institutional players. I think they have an interesting concept. I haven't really looked too much into them, but they are on my watch list. Satoshi VM, SAV up 18% for the week, 6.5% last 24 hours, 49 million market cap. I still have to do more homework on this. I just don't see it too much on Twitter. What else? What else did I want to share with you? Actually, I just got out of this Battle Infinity IBAT today. No, I still have a little bit, but I'm pretty much at a loss, and I don't expect it to come back. Let's see. Layer AI, very bullish on this project. I have been accumulating 8.4 million market cap. Look at the volume though, 9.7 million volume. Okay, I think the market cap is a little higher. I think it's something around like 18 million. I want to say that I want to add like a little bit more to this, but I have to confirm. Again, I have to do a video on this one for you guys. BetSwirl is something that's interesting. Although I don't like the volume, today I was thinking of selling because I'm like, what can I take money out of and put in something else? And then they just made and when I bought it on BSC chain, and there's no liquidity on BSC chain, and so as you can see here, they're on quite a few chains. Right? BNB, Polygon, Avalanche, and what's really cool is on their website they have a bridge right there where you can bridge your BetSwirl into all the different chains and do it relatively easy. So when I saw that, I'm like, all right, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I'm just gonna hold and wait. And I looked at the chart. I added the chart right here. BetSwirl is just as it sounds. It's a gamblified play, right? And the chart just looks sideways. It doesn't look horrible. I'm down slightly a little bit, but I'm just gonna hold. I wouldn't put too much money in it, but I mean, if you do your homework and take a look, it actually might not be that bad of a project. Here's a little something from the peanut gallery. Bets. It's on Alex Becker's radar. I don't know how this guy knows that, but waiting when he makes gamble 5 videos and mentions this easy 10x it will do on same day given current valuations. I don't know. You gotta take all that stuff with a grain of salt, but basically the short of it is I was gonna sell. I didn't sell. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'll try to find capital another way. Here's another one too, Atlas Navi. Okay, 41 cents, 21 million market cap, 1 million. They basically do like GPS for your car. Okay, and it's really interesting. I've been watching it for a while. I haven't gotten into it yet, but maybe I do. The volume is not bad. It's right up my alley as far as market cap, 21 million. How much time we go? Okay, I'm gonna try to finish this up a little bit. Let's take a look at all, and it's looking pretty strong lately. So, I mean, pretty good. I think maybe do well. Maxi, KuCoin, BitGet. Interesting. This is one that I have on my short list of possible entries, of possible tokens that I want to get into. All right, let's take a look at now 24 hours on the negative. What's been down? Oof, Credified down 14%. That's 28 million market cap, guys. 500,000 volume. Not bad. 01 Labs DEAI looks interesting, down 36%. Looks interesting. They have taxes. Website looks cool. A lot of stuff on it looks cool, but I don't like the whole tax thing. What else? What else is down that I think is pretty interesting? Ventus Metaverse is down, but this is a 200,000 market cap, 10,000 volume. This is almost like a meme play, but it's not. It's a real project, and I'm sure it'll do all right. But I'm way down. I'm down over like 50%. I'm down like 60% on this project. I didn't put a huge amount of money in it, but whatever. OPSEC, I know it's been very popular. It's just above. Market cap is too high for my liking. Okay, I'd like to get to that market cap when I bought it at like 10. Right, 10 million, and get to 171 million. Senate is on my chopping list for cutting, for getting out of that and putting that money somewhere else. Let's see what else is I think interesting. Synverse, a lot of things are down 7%, guys. Synverse is interesting, guys. We'll take a look at really quickly on Synverse, and then I think we'll finish there. All right, this is technically a fundamentally strong gaming play, guys. And I think it's doing inverse head and shoulders, right? You can definitely see that, and it's just, this is the final shoulder that it's got to complete. But what it also seems like it can be doing, and I may mention this in previous videos, is that it's going to do a double bottom here at 0.007. Because why? In the previous shoulder, it did something similar, right? Double bottom, boom, boom. And then this shoulder looks like it is going to do essentially the same thing, but it's still building a pretty bullish structure as far as I can see. And like I said, fundamentally, the project is very strong, very good. Good community, everything. Checks off all the boxes. If it drops down here at 0.007, which I think it might, or gets really close, I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to find money and add to it, because I think after that, it's going to continue up and it's going to make that final shoulder. And once it breaks out of this thing is going to fly, guys. This thing is going to go pretty high. It doesn't have much to go as far as once it gets out of this area right here, this double top, if you will, triple top, really, right? The next one, it could do what gold did, and the fourth is the charm, and then boom, up. All right, so that's something to keep in mind, one to keep an eye on if you're still looking for a gaming play, guys. But there are a lot of opportunities right now. My portfolio is down from its all-time highs, and I wish I had a little bit more capital just to start topping up and putting in a little bit more on some projects. I want to focus on AI and actually some memes. I think that's it. Guys. We're gonna leave it there, guys. If you can, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I am trying to grow this channel. I do see the numbers going up a little bit, so that's pretty cool. I thank you and I appreciate that. My son is here. That's my cue to get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.